Hey guys, it's Britney King here, designer for At Least 10 Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to do facings. We're going to cover a bias trimmed facing on the neckline, as well as center front facing and hem facing. And this is for a Mrs. Claus outfit I was doing this holiday season, just finished it. I hope you find it helpful. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to take the bias tape, open it out. I have a trim stitched at 3/8. There's the facing, as you can see. It's sewn right side to right side down the center front. I'm taking that fold line of the bias tape and using the 3/8 stitch line as a guide. If you don't have trim like I do stitched there, if you just have some stay stitching sewn at 3/8, you can use that as a guide as well. That will help. Just so that you can make the bias as flat as possible when you're curving it around the neck edge. Just follow along that line, pinning as you go. You're going to sew just into the facing. You don't have to go all the way. I've pinned a little bit more than I need to. Just leave that extra bias hanging towards the center front there. Just go about a 1 inch into the facing. It should be good. Here's the back. Just continuing to pin, keeping the bias tape as flat as possible, going around the curve. The mannequin helps a little bit in that aspect. Here is the other side of the front. We're going to pin and sew just to about there. So here we are, we're sewing along the neck edge. About here I had to take out some of my pins to adjust the bias tape, starting to bunch a little bit. That's good, and it just leaves more extra at the end. You could cut that off after. So what's next is the hem facing. This is the front facing that I have my hand on. That's the center front, right here. It's already interfaced, so this is the bottom hem. It goes right along the bottom, and we're going to sew it at about 1 inch. You can do 5/8 or 1/2 inch, as long as it's wide enough and it's to your liking. It doesn't need to be interfaced. It's literally just going to turn up and be hand stitched to the front on the inside. So you'll get a nice seam finish to your hem. Just make sure you trim it before you turn it up and iron it so that it lays flat. So after I have turned everything to the inside of the garment, including the center front facing there, it's now to the inside and turned over. I have pinned the bias to the inside. Everything is also trimmed so that it's easy to iron, pressed, it's all ready to go. So I'm now stitching that bias on the neck. Stitch as close as you can to the edge of that bias tape. It's going to make a seam on the outside. If you don't want this, you can hand stitch it with a catch stitch or slip stitch. And now I'm doing the center front. I'm stitching in the ditch of the seam that runs all the way down the center front. This will tack the underside of the facing and make it so that it will stay in place. As you can see, it's all nicely stitched. There's the facing, the interfacing in the inside. It's nicely attached now. So we'll just continue going all the way down, and you do that on the other side as well. Make sure everything's pressed nice before you do it, and trimmed, and looking lovely. Alright, so here we are, all done. We got the neckline with the bias seam there from where the edge of it is sewn. Looks nice. All covered. The trim is sticking out in the right way, and there's your front facing. There's the other side. There's where the facing is attached, down the center front. All ready for some final pressing and the hand stitching on the hem. Well, there you have it. I hope you liked it, and if you have any questions, just hit me up in the comments. Thanks for watching.